Okay, so today these are questions 31 through 40. So this would be the fourth state law section. And again, remember you're going to have these, whoops, hang on, somebody's coming in. You're going to have these in tests later on. So when we get to that point, you will, this will be one of your assignments. You'll just watch this little short video. I don't know what they've been like. They're less than 10 minutes for sure. And then you'll do a Kahoot and a Quizlet, and then you'll take the test on those 10. So this is going to really help you because it'll be a review at that point. All right, if you see anybody pop up that they, just let me know. Okay, so when do you sanitize tools? Immediately after use, and the other rule is that they have to stay sanitized. Now this word kind of drives me a little bit crazy because sanitize can mean like washing your hands. So I hate that they use it that way, but I think of it as disinfecting tools. But again, the state board, they take these words and they just kind of like, I don't know. So you're gonna see, what do you do with a used towel? So you have a towel that you used on somebody. Okay, now look at this. You have to know this language. Discarded in a closed receptacle. Okay, so when you get to state boards, it's not going to say throw them in a bin or throw them in a laundry basket or throw them in. It is discarded in a closed receptacle. So it's good to know that exact wording. All right, how do you remove substances from a container? Well, not with your fingers, always with a spatula. If you drop something on the floor, don't use until sanitized. There's that word again. I'm not liking. Until it's disinfected, but first, keep in mind they're going to use this in your state laws. Okay, who regulates tints and other chemicals that we have in here? Believe it or not, the Food and Drug Administration. Okay, seems a little goofy, the Food and Drug Administration. So they're the ones that regulates like the pigments that we have in our tint. So years and years and years ago, even before I started, we had red dye number 5. That's a famous dye. And they took it out of everything because they said it could cause cancer. Well, the older hairdressers will tell you red hair color hasn't been the same since. It doesn't work as well since they took that out. All right, section 13 under the state board. You can have your license suspended or revoked if you're convicted or you plead guilty to a felony under the Controlled Substance Act. So I'm going to say if you are caught, if you get a felony for any kind of drug conviction, okay, they can suspend or take away your license. So you're convicted or you plead guilty. All right, electrolysis, the permanent removal of hair using a fine little filament. Okay, they call it electrolysis permit. I'm saying maybe you could call it a certificate. Okay, who's allowed to do electrolysis? Any operator, teacher, manager, which is totally goofy since we don't have managers anymore, or a nurse who does an additional 125 hours of training. So when you go for electrolysis training, they do things like they give you an orange and you learn how to insert that filament into the orange pores. And then you start working on yourself. You start working on your leg and you do electrolysis on your leg until you get the hang of it. So for 125 hours. All right, who approves beauty schools? The Department of Labor and Industry. Okay, so they come in and they say, yes, you know, you can go ahead and open up this beauty school. Now, who does the final inspection of the physical layout? It says the board. So you actually, when you open up a salon or a school, you actually draw a diagram of what the floor looks like, the layout. And they have to approve it, but then they send out an inspector who has to inspect your salon as well, or your school. So the board says, yep, this looks okay, and then you get an inspector out. If you have a school with 25 students, you must have 2,750 square feet in your school. For each additional student, you need 9 additional square feet. We are licensed for 37 up here, so that would be 9 times 12. We would have that additional, which is what, 84 additional square feet we would need on top of this to be licensed for 37. 750 of it has to be in the theory room. So we are actually licensed, we're actually licensed, I think, almost for this whole hall officially. But we have plenty of room. We are not too small. Downstairs, when the walls were still up for the theory room, that was too small, but it was grandfathered in because it had been built before they had this rule, this law. So it was allowed to continue like that. Up here, we're in good shape.